Hey, folks, welcome to the premiere edition of Impact Master Panel. This is Ken McArthur, best-selling author of Impact, How to Get Noticed, Motivate Millions, and Make a Difference in a Noisy World. And I'm joined by my esteemed colleagues on the Master Panel, the always...
He's looking at me. I know you're going to say something. Go ahead.
I've tried to think of the word that describes the undescribable Larry Steinhouse of Investor Schooling, master finance expert. Frank Garon, our wonderful, he's the OG of internet marketing. He's been here forever, along with me. Pioneers from the dark ages, right, Frank?
Absolutely.
And we have Dan Tbone Jones, who is the young whippersnapper that's going to bring us into the next generation of internet marketing and teach us what's going on right now these days. And we'll be joined here with Jesse Brower. Jesse is a brave individual who's going to put his project on the hot seat. He owns a call center in the Philippines, and he's working on a couple of projects right now that we'll hear about in just a minute. But first, I'd like to go around to our panelists and have each one of them really introduce themselves and give us a snapshot of what they're doing and what they got going on. So, Dan, we're going to start with you.
Thanks, Ken. So Einstein was right. Relativity really is everything. So I'm beaten 40 years old month by month right now. I'm pushing it back, and you're calling me the young whippersnapper. So I love that. I am Jonesy. I am the entrepreneur solutionist. And really what I do comes down to three things. With my partner, Frank, I teach marketing. I do marketing consulting. And if you don't want any of that, I'll do marketing for you with my agency.
Awesome. And Frank, tell me about you, because I've only known you for 20 years or so.
Well, there's a lot new, Ken. Yes, absolutely. Frank Garon, a former bankrupt tractor-trailer driver from New Jersey who went on to make six figures on the internet and has been moving right along for the past 26, count 'em, years, 26 years full-time on this crazy thing we call the internet. Partners with Jonesy here on conversionchemistry.com, our new and exciting venture that we have launched. And he's teaching me, and I'm teaching him, Ken. So it's working out pretty good so far.
That's awesome. And Larry Steinhouse.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm Larry Steinhouse. I own Investor Schooling. I also do a whole bunch of stuff with money. I've written books.
Money hacks.
A book called Money Hacks, absolutely. And you know what? We came up with this idea. What did we do? We came up with this idea 2 weeks ago, right?
No, it was not even
literally
1 week.
last
We're
week,
on
right?
6 days.
And we put this together, and we have really cool guests. We have Jesse on. And what are we going to be doing, Ken, exactly?
We're going to be doing hot seats, and I've been doing this since the dark ages of the internet. I originally did it online in a teleconference call with a bunch of internet pioneers, and it was so much fun that we took it to our live events, first JV Alert Live, and then now to the Impact event, which, by the way, is coming up in Philadelphia, April 19th through the 21st. If you want to go to createimpactnow.com, you can sign up and join this panel together, because we'll all be there for sure, and along with a whole bunch of great experts. And we'll be doing live hot seats at the event. But it's basic. Here's the basic format. So Jesse is going to tell us about himself, and he's going to tell us about his project, and he's going to tell us about the questions that he would like to have answered by our master panel. So the idea is to, Jesse, keep it short, keep it focused. You're learning when you're listening. So these guys have lots of things to say about just about anything. So soak it all up.
So since we have no format for this, like how much time do we give Jesse? Do we give him a timer?
We can cut him off at some point if it goes crazy. All right. But a typical format would be give us 5 to 10 minutes maximum, and then but be sure and direct this panel, because this panel can go on forever about things that you really don't care about. Feel free to reject any of our opinions or ideas and put them in the trash can if you want, Jesse. But we're here to serve you, to help you achieve your dreams as much as we possibly can. Remember, panel, it is your job to make it possible for Jesse to achieve his dreams, not to limit his ability to do so. So warn him of all the dangers, but help lift him up and give him your best ideas for how he can make this as successful as possible.
And also, before we start with Jesse, I just want to remind everybody online that you can interact with us by leaving us comments, and we'll be able to see them, and we will bring them in. It looks like we have, is that Reese?
Rich Brown.
Oh, Rich Brown. I can't, how can I not? Is it, okay. He's just saying hello to everybody.
I
just want to let you know that if you say hello, you can say hello up there.
Say hello and share this broadcast, because we'd love to have more people.
Share.
Yes, please.
All right, what do you want to do? You want to go to Jesse? Go ahead, Ken.
All right, Jesse, are you ready for this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Any
Thanks
questions for us in
guys.
advance?
I don't think so.
All right, it's your 5 to 10 minutes. Go.
Great. So my name's Jesse Ryan Brower, originally born in Missouri, grew up in California, eventually moved out to Arizona, and that's where I really started my adult life, was in Arizona. And in my early 20s, I got into sales through insurance, and that's where I learned how to do cold calling. Actually, I was working at a car wash, doing detail services and washing cars, and the car wash manager asked me if I wanted to try to sell car wash and detail services one day, and I was a natural at it. I sold a lot, and they ended up moving me around from one car wash to the next to boost sales for the organization. And I did that for, I don't know, maybe close to a year. But then after I got married at the age of 21, I decided I'd sell insurance instead, because I realized I was good at sales, and I was good at that too. Sold insurance, learned how to do cold calling, business to business. We were doing voluntary group benefits with Aflac. So I got a really good idea about what it meant to talk to business owners, and that gave me a lot of confidence, because I felt, if I could talk to business owners and HR people, then I could probably, do any kind of sales, and did pretty well with that for a couple of years. And eventually decided I wanted to start working from home and figure out how to sell stuff over the phone. Did that, and just through the years, did a bunch of different kind of phone work. I did appointment setting for ABB Robotics. The biggest appointment I ever made for them was into Coca-Cola, so they could take a look at revamping their robots. And a lot of different kind of appointment setting. We did like commercial internet, asphalt for driveways and different things. And then it was 2017. I was living here in the Philippines, because I had moved out here to the Philippines in 2015. I live in the Philippines now, by the way. I didn't get to that part yet. But I'd moved out to the Philippines in 2015 with the idea that I was going to open a call center for EnviroMaster, which is if you guys know, they do restroom sanitation. So we were calling businesses, just setting up appointments to have a salesman go out and sell them soap and toilet paper and stuff like that. A couple months after I got here, the franchise owner's wife decided they didn't want to pursue doing a call center. So I had to figure out what I was going to do. I didn't want to leave the Philippines, so I just went online and started figuring stuff out with my telemarketing skills, and I found solar. So we started doing solar appointment setting. I started doing solar appointment setting back in 2017, and I was great at it. It was actually residential, calling homeowners and setting solar appointments. So that worked out. It was pretty cool. Eventually moved back to the United States in 2018. Did a lot of other appointment setting, different stuff. Never really made any money though. I didn't make a lot of money. I just got by. And in 2019, in 2018, my brother passed away from a drug overdose. And at his funeral, I said, "Hey, listen, and it was a weird thing to say at a funeral, but I said, listen, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to go make a lot of money. And I think that's what you should do as well." And I really decided that I was going to do that. And I know not everybody liked what I had to say, because he had died of a drug overdose, and I was kind of being an ass, and his friends were all there. So, but at any rate, that was in 2018. And by 2019, it wasn't 6 months after his funeral, I had my first month where I made like $30,000, and that was a lot of money for me, because, that's about all I'd made in a year. Even though I said I'd done okay at insurance, I did okay, but it wasn't like, I did great. I just did okay.
Hey, Jesse.
Anyway, we did Yeah.
So let's try and get through past the reasons you did it, and let's get into the business stuff itself. So tell us where you're at now and what kind of questions you'd like to have answered.
Sure. So, long story short, I ended up starting Telecentric. It's a call center. Been in solar appointment setting for 5 years, I guess, 5 years, and we're expanding beyond solar now. So we do solar appointment setting for a number of solar companies. Got 21 employees, looking to grow that. Actually hiring 14 more employees this week. I guess if I was to ask you guys a question, I have to try to think about something for a second. So we're here, we're doing appointment setting, and
hey, it's our fault, Jesse. We didn't prep you on what this was about. Don't worry about it. But how would you like to expand your business? Would you like to know what to do with the other 14 employees? What is it that would make your business better?
Yeah, so I mean, definitely, we want to expand the business in other areas besides solar. Solar is taking a big hit right now. I mean, you guys have probably seen it in the news. Like, there's a lot of drama in the solar industry. I mean, really, there is. Solar sales are way down, just industry wide. So that doesn't have to impact us, but I think it has impacted us for sure because people are less willing to buy marketing, like telemarketing services for their solar company. But we would like to expand into other areas besides solar. For example, we just started a debt consolidation campaign that's going really, really well. So I'd like to make that bigger.
So you want us to concentrate on the debt consolidation portion or the solar portion?
I mean, both if you can, but whichever one you want to talk about. It's the BPO side, because realistically, man, like there's so many ways we can go with this call center. I just want to become a BPO specialist to where it's like, I mean, you look at Concentrics and they do everything. Their specialty is outsourcing.
Hold on.
Yeah.
For everyone in this room and the people listening, what is a BPO specialist?
Right. So business process outsourcing. So in other words, I'm the middleman that finds the labor over here. Everybody in America wants cheap labor. Well, I'm here to help them find it.
Okay.
You can hire employees for $200 or $300 a month and sell the labor for much more than that.
Okay, great. So now let me ask you. So what is it that if you had a magic wand and you could get all kinds of information from 4 very brilliant people, well, 3 plus me, I guess. what would be something that we could help you with right now?
I guess maybe just the what would you call it? The branding toward like telecentric. I guess talk about branding telecentric and expanding the awareness of what we're trying to do.
What is your process of signing up a new client?
So I'm pretty much just me having a conversation with them, taking some kind of a deposit, and then starting the service.
Where are you finding your customers right now? In other words, you've got 1 or 2 customers, but how are you locating those customers? Are you bringing them in through the internet? Are you doing it all face to face? Are you making cold calls on businesses? How are you attracting customers to your business right now?
It's really 100% Facebook and referral. At this point, the solar groups are pretty popular. So with solar companies, so I advertise in the solar groups. And I think we have like 8 clients, but not exactly sure on that number, but it's more than 2. But yeah, mostly Facebook and then just referrals.
How many clients would you like?
I mean, unlimited amount. I'd like to be. I'd want a couple thousand employees doing this. I mean, I don't know how many clients that would be, but a lot.
Well, if you had 1,000 clients tomorrow, would you be able to handle them?
No, we'd have to.
Yeah, exactly. So what are your baseline things? So let's just talk for the first 90 days, because I think 90 days is a manageable period of time for you to have some goals, set some expectations, and actually fulfill those expectations. What do you want to have happen in the next 90 days?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, I would like to fill out the other office space that we have. I can put 100 people in that other room. So we've got a room that's not even built out yet. It's just there. I'm renting it. I'd like to fill it out by the end of the summer, and I know we can really do that.
It's 90 days. That's a fiscal quarter. Should be plenty of time to do that, ideally.
Yeah.
So I think
want to put 100 people in there in 90 days. I don't think that's possible.
Well, it depends on your momentum and your energy. And
He's got 8 clients now. He thinks,
right,
which concerns me, by the way. And how long have you been in this business? 5 years?
Pretty much, yeah. The actual brick and mortar call center has been a year and a half.
Okay, so if in a year and a half, Frank, he's got 8 clients.
He's got some growing to do quickly.
He's not growing at all.
Yeah.
He's pretty much got 8 people that spoke to him and liked him and signed up for his program. He's not reaching out, and he's not advertising enough. He's not reaching out to getting new clients, and that's his problem.
He doesn't have a duplicatable process yet, is what you're saying.
he doesn't have any process, I think, on the marketing side. So it sounds mostly about your Facebook presence, going into a few groups, which is not a bad approach. In other words, I always tell my clients that your customers are somewhere right now. Go to the places that they are, find out who they're listening to. We as human beings tend to clump together into a group, and so if you can get into groups, have you done any public speaking? Have you tried podcasts? Have you tried going on different programs as an expert in call center? I mean, everybody hates to make cold calls, except for Hannah Jesse, the only person I've
here's
ever
the weird
met.
part. That's what his business is. His business is cold calling.
Right.
He should take one of his VAs, make cold calls to solar companies, and say, "Hey, we do solar. We make solar appointments. Are you doing that, Jesse?"
So we're compiling a list right now. So that you say that, I've got one of my VAs compiling a list from all of my contacts from the text messages I've received in the last few years. And the plan is to do just that. So we haven't done that, but we're compiling the list right now of people that I want to call.
Well, you can go on Fiverr and get a list of hundreds of solar companies, within a day or so, probably for, $20 or something like that. So that ought to be a no-brainer that you compile the actual data and then you have people go through, make calls. Do you have a script for this? Do you know what to say if you got a hold of somebody that could actually outsource stuff?
For solar companies, I would know what to say.
I'm saying
a script for. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying, do you have a script? In other words, do you have something you can hand to an assistant and say, here,
No,
this is how I
yet.
get to the person that I need to get to? Yeah.
Oh, he has to have that.
No, not yet, because I'm the only one doing it. Like, I haven't had anybody else help me with this. So, no, I don't have anything like that put together yet.
So you need to start with the playbook of SOPs, the standard operating procedures, which is I'm saying when because you will scale. When the time comes to delegate, you need to have that in place. Because it sounds like, all right, so you're doing the client outreach, you're doing the onboarding. Who manages the call center employees on the day-to-day operations and escalations and all that stuff?
So we have 2 people that I'm labeling as operations managers, and her name is Thea, and the other one is Donita. And so they work full-time managing the operations, and they do a pretty good job.
Okay, and how did you find them, and what is their process? Did you come up with that process? Did you come up with the scope of work for them? Tell me a little bit about that.
I found them through Facebook as well, and I just trained them to do it myself.
So they're not in person, or?
No, they're here in the office.
Oh, okay.
They're downstairs.
Are you familiar with Davin Michaels? Do you know
No.
Davin? Davin built a call center virtual assistant company. Numerous buildings, multi-million dollars.
300 to 500 employees at one point.
Yeah. So here's the way that he did it. So he started in the Philippines with one virtual assistant, and he trained the virtual assistant to do all of these tasks. And then he just had that virtual assistant train the next one and the next one and the next one. And pretty soon he had literally hundreds, if not thousands of people in the combined company that he put together in the Philippines. I'd also be looking at doing automated tasks and those kind of things. Virtual assistants are, very popular as far as the Philippines go. But expanding out is one thing. I think you go for the low-hanging fruit right away. If you aren't utilizing the people within your call center, I'd have one full-time person doing nothing but trying to get to people who can use your services, if not 20. If you can train them so that they can get to them, you want to expand fast, then that's the way to do it. That's the most direct way to do it. Get them on the phone, get them to refer people to you, and you close them. You've closed them before, right? So,
absolutely.
Close them until you can get somebody to watch you close them over and over again, and then you can outsource that to yourself. But you got to start with that. I mean, you're not doing any marketing, you're not going to grow.
And it actually sounds like, Jesse, you kind of like you built this and like, it's a business. It's almost like a hobby to you. You said you mentioned you have these two people here who are running the business for you. Obviously they're not as involved as you are. They can't possibly be. And you're saying, hey, you guys run the business. And you know what's going to happen 6 months from now? The business is going to fail or be close to failing. And guess who you're going to blame? You're going to blame them. And it's not their fault. It's your fault. You need to get in front of this. You need to get in charge of this. I mean, we've given you some really great ideas on how to expand your business. The question is whether you're going to do them or not. I mean, what you guys, and Frank, I don't know much about the conversion therapy thing that you guys are doing.
Conversion therapy.
Conversion therapy.
We do that on the side.
Chemistry.
Right.
That's great. Pick that domain up.
I think you get that domain immediately, really. Yeah. So tell them about what you guys are doing, because I don't even know if that can help.
It can help, absolutely.
Jonesy. Yeah, our entire Conversion Chemistry is our marketing academy for entrepreneurs and small businesses, and our flagship program is called the Digital Dominance Blueprint, which is actually a 91-day, 10-module, 10-step process to either bring your product or service to market or expand. And so, yes, it would absolutely help.
So, what would that do for him? Because I'm not. I mean, it's great that you're plugging your thing. But what would it do for him? What are the things that he should be doing right now? He doesn't have much of a presence at all. That's obvious.
Right.
By the way, Jesse, I assume you have a website.
I have a website.
You want to share it with us?
Sure. It's www.jbsl.solar.
You know what? The only way I don't know if I could do that. Well, I could try to do it. I don't know if I could do it.
I can put it in the comments here.
Yeah, I don't know if I could get it. All right, yeah, put it in the chat box on the Zoom. I don't know if you could do that. Let me see if I could call it up. Okay. I don't know if I can. I don't think we have the technology to do it at the moment. Oh wait, you know what? I can do it up here. Hold on. Yeah, put it. Go back to that. Put it in the chat where you're going to put it. That's a better idea. I can put it on one screen.
I'm going to say one thing. He needs to have SOPs for everything right now.
Oh, of course.
Because the reason I'm saying this is when I got started 26 years ago and I started making a little money and then a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, I was so busy making the money that I never stopped to put SOPs in. So I was always too busy to bring somebody on board. And when I did bring somebody on board, like a VA, I was too busy to train them. I was paying them for nothing, paying American wages. And I never did catch up with that all those years and all. So if you don't do it right now, Jesse, you're never going to do it and you're going to be screwed.
You can't see it because it's behind you, Frank. But you would cry if you saw this guy's website. It's that bad.
So it's branding. Branding and positioning is step 2 after you've written down all of your procedures.
Let me see if I can get it on the screen for everybody else. It's not that easy, but I'll try.
Scroll it down a little bit. Is there anything below that?
Yeah, I will. I'll get there.
It does have a call to action.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell me really what it is.
What happens when you text leads to your number?
So that's the call to action to my. They're just going to hit my iPhone.
I put it up on the screen for everybody to see it. Give me a second here. Let me just make it a little bit bigger so that guys can see it because it's terrible. And I got to be honest. I mean, as soon as you got this thing, Jesse Brower's solar leads. You know what? That's like Fred's bank. Would you Would you put your money in Wells Fargo Bank, Bank of America, or Fred's Bank?
Well, you just gave two very bad examples, so I'm going with Fred's Bank on that one.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. I support the entrepreneur.
I understand what you're trying to say,
There you
but
go.
I think you realize the point I was trying to
Yes,
make.
yeah, you're right.
I mean,
You
right
see
away.
the
I mean,
site,
right
yeah.
away. I mean, this is just
You should.
Jesse. Come on, really?
I need to know who you're like.
Target
What is it you do, and who is it for? We book calls, we book appointments for solar companies. Even something as simple as that positioning right there.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
Wait, it gets worse. I scroll down. It gets worse. I mean,
no.
This can't. Honestly,
Okay.
Jesse, if you had coming soon, it would be better.
Don't put those kinds of prices on your website.
No.
Number one, you cannot sell $52,000 packages via a website.
No way.
What the heck is Joinaya?
So that's a third party, I guess, lead authentication company. So we sell leads. So actually, this is not the Telecentric website because I don't have a Telecentric website.
Yeah.
But most of this, so Telecentric is the call center, the Philippines registered company. Jesse Brower Solar Leads is not really the name of the company. It's just something that I call it. So that, and I've done pretty well. Like, I mean, probably not by your guys' standards, but we still did like 700K last year under this name. I mean, because people need this stuff.
Imagine if you had a good website.
Yeah.
You might do 7.5 million.
That's the good news.
I'd
is
like to, yeah.
if
I'd
you-
really like to.
Yeah, if you've gotten this far with that website, a little bit of fixing up there, boy,
Yeah,
that's going to make a
exactly,
difference
right,
in the world.
right.
Even from the standpoint of referrals and your organic marketing, right? People are going to check you out and research you. And say for every 10 referrals, you sound like you're a great closer. You're closing 4 to 5, but there's going to be 2 to 3 that look at that website and bounce and go to somebody else. So without even changing anything but that positioning and
Yeah, it's not
branding,
credible.
you're gonna close more deals without having to scale and exert any more effort.
And
You
the,
don't look credible. I mean, honestly, when you have a website like that, you don't look credible at all.
the other thing is that you really don't have a website for your generic lead generation, kind of thing. Your call center doesn't have a web page at all. So
Right.
if you're going to diversify this thing and you're going to reach out to other markets beyond solar leads, you got to have that up and going and figure out what your call to action is. There should be one thing that you want people to do. For instance, at Investor Schooling, which Larry runs, there's only one call to action on the page when they go to the website. The call to action is sign up for Thursday class. And that's the focus. And you have to continually remind yourself. You're not going to sell them on the website at a $52,000 package anyway, and certainly not from a menu of, that's like going into a restaurant that has 30 pages worth of menu.
Where do you start?
Yeah,
right?
where do you start? They have no concept of the value or so this is a sale that you're going to make in person over the phone or however you're going to close it, but it's one-to-one kind of a sale. Don't tell them up front how much it's going to cost. Tell them that you're going to customize this to their exact preferences and give them exactly what they want. So make it custom. You can make a heck of a lot more money that way.
Create a pitch deck, a PowerPoint slide pitch deck that goes, why solar leads, what most solar companies, you probably know what most solar companies are hurting for, which is leads, how you get them, how you get people
Right.
to show up. I mean, I don't know the extent of what you do, but if you had a company where you're making solar appointments for somebody, which I believe you are, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, and then are you confirming those appointments the day of the appointment to make sure that the person goes out, or does my company now, if I'm a solar company, do I have to now call and confirm that appointment, or are you confirming that appointment?
So we actually think it's a better idea not to confirm it because there's such a high cancellation rate anyway. You're better off just to go knock the door unless it's like a really far drive and you don't, the whole industry has like a 30% sit rate right now from door knocked and telemarketed appointments, like across the board. Part of a mastermind, and that's something we talk about. The sit rate is extremely low right now for the appointments that are set, door knocked or telemarketed or whatever. So it's better to just to leave it and go show up, because if you call and try to confirm it, it's very likely to cancel.
So I'm gonna tell you something. If you're afraid to call to confirm an appointment, that means your appointment setter is not doing a good job. But by the time you get on the phone confirming the appointment, the person that you confirm the appointment with, yes, I'm so excited, I can't wait to see it. or they've done something wrong, or you have no confidence in your own appointment setting ability, which means that you need to now train your people to be more confident on the phone and to get excited to have the people get excited that somebody's coming out to talk to them about solar.
Yeah, that whole 3 out of 10 sit rate, that's
terrible.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
As a salesman,
That's the whole. But I mean, you guys, I want to figure it out too, because that's the whole industry. Everybody has that problem right now.
So maybe everybody has the same thought as you, and they're not confirming appointments. Maybe you should start confirming appointments to see if it changes. Because I would bet if you confirm appointments, it'll go up.
He's got nothing to lose, Larry.
Yeah, exactly.
Might as well.
Then the other thing is the quality. I mean, obviously, what's missing is the sales in the front end. In other words, before you get the appointment, selling them on the idea of solar, selling them on the idea that this particular package is what they need. If you're doing that, that's going to be, and if you're producing higher quality results for your customers, then you're going to be standing out from the companies. You won't be just one of a billion, call centers in the Philippines. You got to play on quality here. And the first thing that people think when they think Philippines is low quality.
So which are you? Are you the best or are you the cheapest?
Because you can't be both.
Well, which one are you trying to be now?
Good point.
Are you trying to be the best or the cheapest right now?
I don't know. Probably neither. I don't think we focus on really being the best or the cheapest. I mean, we're just doing a service.
Yeah.
Right, but there has to be a compelling reason for somebody to hire you.
Absolutely.
And the website is a compelling reason for them to run. If your conversion rate is, your sit-down rate is 3 to 10, if I hired you and I was a solar company and 3 out of 10 appointments sat, I'd fire you in 2 months because you'd be wasting my people's time, especially if they're salary. Now, I realize most of the solar people are commission only, but you know what? Then if I got this guy who I thought was really good and he quits because every time he shows up at somebody's house, they're not there, he's going to get pissed. He's going to leave. Then I'm going to not be able to afford you, and I'm going to fire you anyway. I might as well do it myself. I might as well go knock on doors myself.
What if you doubled the sit rate, and then you just went around to your customers and say, "Hey, we've got double the sit rate of any other company in there," and it doesn't sound like it would be that much more difficult to double the sit rate if you had a really excellent sales process for selling those people on the packages before they get there.
That's so bad. All he has to do is move the needle a little bit.
Yeah.
The other thing, guys, I would say 2 separate websites. One for solar leads, and 2 if you're going to be leads for all people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep that separate. Domain name costs you $10.
I would crush the solar process first. Try to optimize that, because there's so much low-hanging fruit there by making these simple tweaks, like by adding that one extra call, email, and text for appointment confirmations. It's almost like guaranteed to increase that sit rate, right?
Absolutely.
We know this.
Yeah. And he already has, 5 years, did he say, experience in that?
Yeah.
So before you branch out, make sure that you have squeezed every drop of juice from the lemon that you're already squeezing. That's what I would tell you.
I mean, I've seen some of your posts, Jesse. I've been following you for a while with friends on Facebook, and a lot of your posts are complaining about your clients. You're complaining about something or something. Stop doing that. Alex Neff, by the way, Alex is watching us on Facebook, and he had a question. He said, "Have you done any short form video?" And just make videos and talk about how great solar is. To almost be a solar proponent. And then be a solar proponent for people who are hiring companies like yours. You should outsource your solar. This is how you should do it. Hey, anybody interested, connect to me. It's funny because you're super ambitious, and I get that. I've seen from your posts you're super ambitious, but you're sitting back and not doing anything that it takes to become the #1 solar appointment setter in the industry. Do you have that goal?
Sure. Yeah, that's the goal.
Then do something about it. 8 clients is not going to do that. You need to have hundreds of clients. You need to be reaching out to them constantly. We have about 10 more minutes left. Is there anything else that we should be telling him that he should be doing?
Just SOPs, because he's
absolutely.
The good news is you're in a business where you only have to be a little bit better to look a lot better. In other words, if you could say
Clearly.
industry sit rate is 3 out of 10, well, we get 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, that's still a percentage
Right.
more. Once you get to 6 out of 10, now you're cooking with gas, Jesse. But I mean, you can almost fall over and bump it up to 4 per.
Exactly. You know, the other thing too is I got a question for you. So I looked at your website. We already made fun of it. I'm going to predict who made that website, and that was you, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's the problem. So are you? What are you? A business owner or are you a website developer? Wait. You're clearly not a website developer.
True.
What do you want to be?
The business owner.
Good.
For sure.
Yeah.
So stop doing stupid shit like creating your own website. That sucks.
Well, you have no business doing that, and I can say that from experience too.
Yeah.
You know, you have no business being in the kitchen if you're the host.
Exactly.
It's a practice what you preach type of scenario. You're telling businesses they need to outsource appointment setting. So you need to take that own advice and outsource that which you don't either A, want to be doing or aren't doing it well.
Yeah, imagine, right? Imagine
Yeah.
the guy who's teaching people to outsource and he doesn't outsource.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, but that's hysterical, Dan. I realize it's hysterical.
Look, everything he's doing, I went through that.
Yeah.
I went
This is
through
what
all
we all
do.
do. Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, nobody's beating you up, Jesse. This is all from experience and done out of love, believe it or not. Because
No, that's okay. I appreciate it.
we see something
I
like,
understand that, and I appreciate it.
we see something like this, and we're like, my God, we can fix him.
Really?
Just do this.
I
this,
mean,
and
you've,
this.
you've got a great start. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
if most businesses had $700,000 worth of business, pouring in the door with these kinds of marketing efforts,
Right.
then they'd be thrilled. But you can raise those percentages. I really think focus in on the training of your salespeople so that you can make your closers on the phone be that more effective than the run-of-the-mill closer. And how do you do that? You identify talent within that group of people that you have right now, who's the best closer, and then you get other people to learn from that and start thinking about what's the sales process here? How can I refine it? It's not just following this script and that's it. It's really setting up a script that actually closes people in, gets them excited about the appointment. Then you start doubling things. So, you've got abysmal industry figures on the sit rate. So that means that it's simple to double, triple those sit rates, and it's all just quality. It's all making the extra effort to make it quality. And then on the branding side of things, like everybody has said, you don't have a website for your main business. You need a website for your main business. And you're right. You should not only get a designer to do it, but you should get somebody who knows marketing to do it, because it's not enough to just make it look pretty. It's got to close things. And you go directly to the point of the single thing that you want them to do. So one call to action on that page, and my call to action is to get them to text or whatever. Well, now you need the process within that to close those potential clients. And as soon as you double that, 1% to 2%, then you've got double the industry standards, and you can say that in your closing, and you can explain to them how much money they're losing, how much personnel they're losing by having people go out there and not have people show up on the appointments. If yours can deliver people actually showing up for the appointments, then that's extremely valuable, not just in the cost of the leads, but also in all their personnel costs and everything else down the lane.
So I have a question for the
So
panel.
we're actually
Okay, Jennifer, go ahead.
yeah. We're actually doing really good with this debt consolidation campaign. We just started it, but we're getting sales every single day. So we're getting live transfers that are resulting in sales.
Then close your solar
And
business. Then close your solar business. Seriously, close your solar business.
We say close it or wind it down or both.
Yeah, close it because
Transition?
you got to do one or the other. I mean, you're failing miserably in the solar business because you don't have any of the things you need to do. Now you're going to go over because you did really well in this debt consolidation business, whatever you want to call it, or right?
I don't think he's failing in the business, is he?
No,
It sounded like
not
he's.
at
No, if he
I didn't hear that
No,
anywhere.
but listen, right? If he's not even going to put the effort in to fix this business, what do you think is going to happen to this business when he goes into the other business?
Yeah.
Well,
It's going to die.
But I also want to see him do everything we just said for the debt consolidation business, or else the
Well,
same thing's
either
gonna
one,
happen.
right,
It'll
either
stop,
one.
It'll stop scaling.
Yeah.
Jesse,
Focus is key, Jesse.
Absolutely.
You've got to focus in on whatever you're going to do to make this thing really go. And I think Dan has a great point in focus on the low hanging fruit. If you're making more money off of debt consolidation, go for that.
Yeah, close the other one.
If you're making more money on the other one, then go for that. But you do have to make a decision on where your focus is going to be. The way that you grow a big business with all kinds of tentacles to it is that you concentrate on one pillar, get that solid, and then replicate that in another area. But you got to get it solid first.
Absolutely.
So, but I mean, you look at Concentrics. They became the world's largest BPO company, and they didn't just have one type of client at all, ever. They've always done BPO for all different kind of things. So I'm not sure I agree with that, but I'm probably wrong. You guys are probably right.
Wait, I'm confused. I thought you were a solar lead company. If you're not a solar lead company and you're just a phone call outsourcing company, then that's a different business model than the one you've been describing to us. If you're not, stop being solar.
Exclusively.
Yeah, and I mean,
solar.
maybe you're right. I would rather just focus on BPO and have solar be a part of it, because I mean, everybody wants to outsource somewhere, and a lot of the outsourcing is done here. So, but there's no huge BPO company that only does one thing. Like, they're doing 100 different things.
Yeah, but we're talking to start, Jesse. Like, and with all respect that you built your physical side of the business up, this internet side is the way that you're going to reach more market and expand. You got to fix that website, dude, first and foremost. As entrepreneurial as we all are, and we try to do 10 things at once. You can only ride one horse at a time. You can only drive one car at a time. You can only fly one plane at a time. So I would honestly, just me, forget everybody else here. My own personal advice is fix that website. And I know you guys agree with that as well. Maybe not Larry.
He has no website.
Well, okay, build a website.
Yeah, he doesn't have the
Do you
website
guys
yet.
think that I should? Do you guys think that the way I'm marketing the solar? So, should I Should I have Telecentric be what represents the solar leads, and just drop the Jesse Brower solar leads thing, and just have the solar leads be part of what Telecentric is offering? I mean, that's the company. Or should I? The Jesse Brower solar leads thing. It's just something that I called it.
If your goal, Jesse, is to become that broad business, and that's what you're doing. I mean, it's still good to focus on any industry standard. You need to build the branding and the call to actions for all that business, but it's going to be tricky, because as soon as you have to adapt to every industry, you have to adapt the sales process, you have to adapt the scripts, you have to adapt every aspect of it. You have to do additional training for each industry, and so so the way to build that, you're not wrong that companies don't build broad, diverse kinds of things. But even Davin Michaels, when he was building his Philippines VA centers, he was starting out, although he advertised broadly, he started out with certain things that people from the Philippines could execute really well with minimal training. So that meant that he was putting into place processes, which we talked about before with the standard operating procedures, so that it would be easy to train people on this. And then they had to adapt them for other industries. But that's work. That's time and effort and stuff like that. You want to do those one thing at a time. You want to, I mean, even if you were doing a general kind of internet marketing VA kind of a situation. They limited it down to the tasks that were most important. So appointment setting and task kinds of things and, daily activities. Right. So that was a standard operating procedure for each employee in that company. And the particular employee learned the skills for a particular client. But that's a huge training kind of thing. If you've already got income streams, it comes down to your goals. What do you want to accomplish with this business? What do you want to do when you get up in the morning is always my question. What do you want to do when you get up in the morning? And by that, I mean, do you want to be on the phone making those phone calls, or do you want to be managing this business and all of the employees? What do you want to do? You decide that. You decide what the general parameters are that you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to build this general kind of a business that serves all kinds of people, you've got to at least get the website up for that thing and put things under that brand. So,
okay, we're almost out of time, Ken. I hate disrupting you, especially because it's your thing,
especially since it's my show.
I know, but we have a timetable. All right, 30 seconds. Final thoughts, Frank.
SOPs and get a website. That's it. Dan.
If you can fly out here in 3 weeks, I'll buy your ticket to Ken's conference. You just have to fly out here and get a hotel, but I'll pay for your ticket to get in, and we'll all be there. It's April 19, 20, and 21, and I'll let Ken take over.
What's the website for that, Ken?
CreateImpactNow.com.
Yeah, CreateImpactNow.com. Great thing to do. Okay, final words, Ken.
My final word is focus on what you want to do with your life. What activities do I want to have? What will make me feel excited to get up every single day and do those activities? And set your dreams, build the marketing in, make the offers direct and simple, and develop processes for those.
Yeah, and my final words, just look, I actually thought it was great that you were in the only solar business. I thought that makes you stand out. So if you want to keep driving in that direction, drive in that direction, but be focused on your business. We even had Heather online. She said he needs to decide what business he's in. So everybody agrees with us. You need to decide what business you're in. Focus on it. Fix all the obvious problems like the website, making cold calls, getting your customers, make it work. All right, Jesse, we appreciate you.
And be encouraged. You're doing the right stuff. You're getting sales. That's the first start of a big business.
I'm going to disconnect him, and then we'll have a 2-minute conversation about what we're doing.
Great to have you on, Jesse.
Yeah, thanks, Jesse.
Hope it was helpful.
It was a
Keep
blast,
us
Jesse.
posted.
Appreciate
We're
you.
rooting
You got
for
it.
you.
Take care, man. All right.
You bet.
Now let's get him off.
See ya.
And hold on a second. I got to figure out how to get him off. There we go. All right, guys. What now? What now do we want to talk about? Real quick, we got a couple minutes. Why don't we tell people how to become a guest here, right?
Recording stopped.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Good question. You can contact any of us, and you can go to our Facebook group called Impact Master Panel. Impact Master Panel. So if you go on Facebook and just search for Impact Master Panel, you can join that group. We'd love to have you be part of that group. Put together like a one page, and then just let us know that you'd like to be on the air with this amazing group. We'll be having some other guest experts along the way too, but that's the simplest and easiest way. Or you can contact any of us. Put down about one page about what your project is, and if it's a good match, we'll have you on the show.
Yeah, I think Ken, we did a great service for him today. We gave him such great suggestions. So if anybody wants to be part of this, they really should.
Yeah, and it's a hot, they call it a hot seat for a reason.
Yeah,
because you are in the hot seat.
Absolutely.
And we do it to each other every month at the mastermind. I mean,
that's right.
It's not always fun hearing the stuff, but it's done out of love, and it's done out of experience and knowledge too.
And that's another thing you can come to if you want to join us in a mastermind. We do in-person mastermind, hot seat kind of a format. If you go to Ken One Day, that's KENONEDAY, you can join us. We do it on the fourth Tuesday of every month. The next one is April 23rd, KenOneDay.com.
Guess that's it, guys. Not bad for the first show, huh?
We did it.
We helped the
It
guy.
sounded
We
like
helped
we helped
somebody.
somebody, right?
We helped
That's why
somebody.
we're
Yeah.
here.
Either that or he's jumping out a window now.
Yeah, really.
Could go either way.
Make an impact every day, even
So
if
I
it's
do
on the
understand,
sidewalk.
obviously he's got the entrepreneurial drive. It's midnight over
Yeah, really.
in the
Oh,
Philippines
yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
so
that's
he's
true.
got the time to do that.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
have
thank you,
faith that
Jesse.
he will take these tips and hints and
Yeah.
advices and go forth and prosper.
We need to follow up. We need follow up somehow. We need to
All
know.
right, I'm giving you guys 7 seconds.
All right. I think just join us, folks.
See you guys. Bye-bye.